Yeah, they're saying that average. Blew my mind.
So average, you have to save up by the time you retire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I ain't planning to live past like 85.
that's a lie.
Dude, man, that's gonna suck if I go past 85.
No, it's not. Now, before I get into this book, George, we're gonna go into battle. And I need you to think of right now what enemy that you're trying to take down. It could be something tangible. It could be not tangible. You got something to start the podcast with?
Yeah. So I was actually researching things for the podcast, and what I've come up with is that.
Anyways, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Learn things that you want to learn.
I got a fun fact for you.
Hope you learned something. If not, I hope you not. So,
I'm an idiot.
If you have any questions, don't ask us.
welcome to the Idiot Sexuals podcast. I'm your co-host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, George.
And every week we try to cure our ignorance. And it's a lot of ignorance by reading and watching videos and coming up with intros.
We're going to redo that.
And this week I've picked up a new self-help book, George.
Oh, we all know you need your help.
Not bad. You good over there?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
We're having technical issues.
Still getting it together. Well, I'm going to talk this week. I'm going to talk about my new self-help book, which is The Art of War.
Yo.
And we're going to get serious because we need to get into battle mode, man. We got demons to face.
Bruh.
And we need to fight.
Dude, actually, that book is on my list of
Books to read.
So I'm actually really happy that you're talking about this. So that way, when I talk to you about it, you can't roast me for it. Because every book that I've decided to read,
you can't look at me and say, you can't roast me.
I 100% can.
I'm a little kid. Guess what's going to happen?
One day you'll move out from under the bridge and you'll stop being a troll.
What are you going to talk about this week?
Today I'm talking about retirement because I want to stop doing everything. I'll get a little bit more serious about it. But yeah, I am 100% talking about retirement.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm approaching my late 70s.
Oh, so you're
I'm not
looking
that
at
age.
the retirement age. Okay.
Dude, I actually found out so many interesting facts about retirement that I was like, damn, I'm screwed.
I'm not doing any of this.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of it. But I'm also not as screwed as I think I am.
Huh.
But I'm still pretty screwed.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
a positive spin on it.
I can get right into it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the real reason why I was looking into retirement is because I'm at the point in my life where
70.
where my knees are 70 years old and they're giving out on me.
I don't know much about medical, but does like geriatrics kind of like
Yeah.
relate to you?
Yeah. So essentially, you can go F yourself. I'm getting to the part of my life. There's a certain chapter where
towards the end of the book.
we're at the end of the book. We're wrapping it up.
Okay.
But more
Realistically.
taking care of my parents.
Oh.
And I'm getting to the point where I have to do a bunch of stuff looking at Medicare, Medicaid, retirement. I'm figuring out the stuff for them.
You have to do all their retirements?
Yeah, and I've already like helped my dad through it a little bit. And it made me go into, wow, what am I going to do for myself? Because one of the things that I thought about, right, is I don't want to force my kids to be the ones and
taking care of you?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna like, but I'm happy to take care of my parents. I'm happy to do this work for them.
Yeah, PR.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It takes. There's a certain level of energy that you have to put to make sure you get all this stuff right for them. You have to wait for government agencies to respond to you. You have to.
Oh, you know all about that. Takes forever, huh?
I mean, I can't say much. You know what I'm saying? I hiccuped.
I'll bleep it out there,
but it ain't the fastest, all right? Dealing with Social Security and all that other stuff. But it got me thinking about Social Security, people who are working, blah, blah. And one of the things that I noticed is, I mean, my mom is hired, technically, but still has to keep working because they don't really bring in enough.
That doesn't sound like retirement.
That's what I mean. Retirement just means that you're collecting your Social Security income.
Oh, does it? I'm ignorant.
That's all retirement means.
Retirement doesn't mean that you necessarily stop working.
Mm-mm. Retire just means that you have started collecting on your Social Security income, or that what you contributed all this time while you were working.
Question: is there a minimum age where you can start collecting?
There's not a minimum age where you like people. So you ever heard people retiring early?
Yeah, I thought that because they have so much money, they don't have to work anymore.
They do. They have so much money that they can continue to fund themselves, that they can still get the full benefits of Social Security, and they can wait till they're 65 or whatever age they choose to actually start collecting it.
Okay, so here's an ignorant question. You start collecting your Social Security at a young age because you've made so much money.
No. So you never do. If people retire early, it means they have enough money to support themselves through the age of retirement. You can retire early, meaning that you can start collecting Social Security early, but you don't get as much money every month.
Okay, so what determines how much money you get out of your?
The older you retire, the more money that you.
So it's an age thing.
It's an age and time spent in the workforce.
It's not how much money you're making.
No.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
You're basically, I think the average for people who have worked since they were 18 to 65 was essentially retirement.
Okay.
The average Social Security income is like $1,900 a month. That's what I thought.
I can live off
Dude,
that. I think I can live off that. If my whole house is paid,
that's what I'm saying.
I for sure can live off that.
I'm saying I don't think I'm screwed as I think I am.
Okay, so here's another question. So if those who retired early, why would you start collecting from your Social Security if it's just based off time? Why wouldn't you just not start collecting, wait till, I don't know, it's a bigger number?
That's what I think most people do. I don't think people tap into the Social Security benefits.
Who tapped in early?
It's the people who are super wealthy. Those are the ones who
even if you're super,
they're just like, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
But even then, I don't think they do that.
Okay.
They're just like, they have so much money to support themselves now.
Got it.
That, to be honest, I don't think they ever retire. They're like, oh, I forgot. Like, that's $100 a month can go. You can give it to the peasants. You know what I'm saying?
I see. I got it.
So I've been going into that mind frame, trying to take care of my parents. One thing that I'm trying to keep in mind is you never know what's going to happen in your old age. So you never know what your health is going to be like.
True.
You never know what your home situation is going to be like. You never know. Like, there's so many different variables. I think that's why I have so much anxiety about my retirement.
Okay.
I got lots of it.
You got lots of anxiety. Okay.
So it's more about planning for the different elements that come across. So it's not just money.
Interesting.
It's hobbies. Like, this is one thing that
hobbies,
dude,
in relation to your retirement.
Yeah.
So you're saying like happiness. Okay.
I have seen multiple people retire.
Your friends?
Huh? Dang it, Justin. let me be serious.
You're old, aren't you?
Every time I go to the nursing home, they treat me better than this. This is why I relate to them more.
You see multiple people retire, and what have you seen from them? They don't have hobbies?
The biggest takeaway that I've seen is that there's a huge degradation in mental capacity.
Ooh, what are the day? Look at this guy.
My old friends have taught me new words. I hang around with wisdom, baby.
Degradation, I like it. Okay.
So one of the biggest takeaways is all right, what do I want to do when I'm retiring? So that's a problem that's honestly not a bad problem to have. That's something you can think about in the future. You never know. I'm really big in this whole triathlon thing. Am I going to be 65 years old,
that'd be pretty
triathlons? Sick. I would love that.
Or mini triathlons. Yeah. You have to do full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one of the triathlon coaches I have.
How old is he?
Dude, I don't know how old he is. I want to say he's in his 50s.
What is information?
Huh?
Below?
Yeah, reach out to.
But you got to guess what his age was.
I want to say he's in his 50s, mid 50s.
And he's still doing triathlons?
No. He's still owning triathlons. He's still wrecking kids.
Retired?
Yeah. No, he's not retired. He's still wrecking. That would have been sick if he's retired and just whooping everybody's butt. Yeah,
crushing triathlon.
The man has a beard that's down to the middle of his torso. It's so cool. Like he's just
One day.
no,
We'll get there.
I don't think I can. I can. Maybe my mustache will come down to my.
That's gonna be so disgusting. I already don't like the mustache, but
That's
imagine
so
if you had the
sick.
longest handlebar
That'd be
mustache.
like I'll just have the giant like. You ever watch
like Chinese kung fu?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the
master.
entire time. But I think that's one big takeaway is like what kind of activities or what kind of things do I want to do?
So what came to mind for you?
For me, triathlons, I wanted to be part of some non-for-profit organization to try to help communities in my area, like
With what? Like how?
like
Law
food banks or law.
food,
Law.
okay.
Actually, I didn't even though I have a law degree. That'd be such a good
That didn't
idea.
even come to mind at first.
I was like, what skills do I have? None. I'll just help feed people.
No, honestly, I think community-based, you're very social. So I think at that age, if you're still social you are now, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. And I mean, actually, one thing that I think about now is helping people plan for retirement. So, like, getting wills in line and, like, getting stuff for, like, estate planning and that kind of stuff. Because that stuff is confusing.
Yeah, I don't know any of that. I'm just going to continue on life with...
Well, let me tell you, as a lawyer...
We're doing okay. Everything's fine.
Here's my plan. I die, it goes to my kids. And that's automatic. My plan is to rack up as much debt as possible so that they got to deal with it. People who are wealthy pass on like generational wealth. I'm passing on debt.
Generational debt. Nice.
Generational
That's called
debt.
trauma. So good job on that one.
Hey, man. Hey.
So is that what you learned in this retirement research?
Yeah.
Pass on debt to your kids?
I'm screwed, so I'm taking them down with me.
That sounds petty.
The sinking boat takes it. But then I like looked into how much money you should have saved if you're planning on retiring.
Ooh. How much money? Wait, based on what?
Like just so you
Is this
could
the
look.
average for anyone? You should say.
Yeah, they're saying the average. Blew my mind.
So average, you have to save up by the time you retire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $6 million.
What are you? How are you living, dog?
What do you?
What? Are you living in a mansion? You got butlers when you're retired? What? $6 million?
You don't make any more money, and you're gonna retire for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can live off $6 million. I don't know, based on inflation, bro. I don't know. It used to be no. Don't look at me with that face.
That's nuts, bro. What is your living?
Don't look at me with that face. People can't. If you retire at 65, you have $1 million left. They say you can't live off that.
Okay, so the average is $1.3 million.
Oh, okay.
And that, I did the math. Holy moly. The way my brain works is like, all right, I live in a house that's paid off. It's done. Like, I don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about property taxes and my health. Because those are two things that are the biggest, like, expenditures for people like me.
This guy keeps going. Okay.
I got a vocabulary, Justin.
Okay. He opened up a dictionary this morning.
I did the math, right? I ain't planning to live past like 85.
That's a lie.
Dude, man, that's gonna suck if I go past 85.
No, it's not.
If I go past 85, I'm moving in with my kid. I got no.
You really want to burden your that, and you're gonna live with them.
Why do you think I had them? The whole reason to have kids is so that you got someone to take care of you when you're old.
Got
That's
it.
That's
understandable.
It. Other than
not
that,
to have a child kind of grow into a life and lead a life that's going to be something that you're proud of.
Other than that, children
and they live their own life and their own legacy.
No,
it's to take care of you.
Absolutely.
Got it.
That is my.
No, I thought I was wrong. I'm not mistaken.
You want to hear a retirement plan?
What?
Kids.
That's so sad.
But no, legit. So I did the math, right? Okay. For $1.3 million, if you were to somehow spend $60,000 a year,
okay,
that gives you about 21 years of life past 65.
Does it?
Yeah. At 60,000, if I'm like 65, 90, or 65, 90, that's a huge range.
65, 90.
I'm between like 65 and 70, right?
Okay.
The only things I really have to worry about is medical expenses, which is like the biggest thing for old people.
Yeah.
And property taxes, which are, again, like, property taxes just keep going up. That's the one thing you can't control. $60,000 a year. feel like is a lot. Or am I crazy?
$60,000 a year as discretionary money that you could use, whatever.
Yeah,
Is that what
so
you're saying?
$60,000 a
Which
year
is
that you get
$5,000 a
for
month.
food, medical expenses, and just, I don't know, chilling, buying gifts for people.
That's if you have $1.3 million
That's if you have $1.3 million
saved up
Mhm.
by the time you're 65.
Mhm.
$5,000 a month. I feel like, yeah, I'm chilling.
Right? I think
With
I'm
more than enough.
I think I'm in a good place.
Okay, so have you have you done this? Wait, first of all, have you put any money into retirement? I forgot to ask that first, because a lot of sites show you based off how much money you have now what you're trending towards by the time you're 65.
Yeah, I ain't hitting 1.3 million. I did the math.
What are you trending towards? $75.60.
If I start saving money when I'm 50,
Okay.
I should be close to maybe $10.
Oh.
Right now, I'm spending money, bro. I'm in debt.
Oh man.
No, but I think one of the craziest stats that I read is that because people don't have $1.3 million, 20% of retired people are still working.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
That's
man.
rough, dude.
That's too rough.
Like
Why?
I see it. I see it like Costco. I mean, they have like decent jobs where like they're just like the checkout or the greeter or something like that. But I'm proud that there are people out there that are like, yeah, I'll take care of myself. Like, I mean, granted, they kind of have to. They're not.
I was gonna say there wasn't.
But if they did have a choice, I wonder if they would still do it just to kind of keep themselves. And it goes back to the hobbies thing. If you don't keep yourself busy, I've seen multiple people just go down a path of just like crazy.
Yeah, I say I guess this is why it's so important to understand retirement really early, rather than much later.
Yeah,
so it's pretty good that you're doing this research.
Yeah, because
if I see you at Costco at 35, when you've been talking about triathlons.
Buddy, let me tell you.
No, Jordan.
I ain't checking off your receipt. You're staying in that Costco.
I'm showing you my executive member card and you're checking receipts.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with it. No. But I wonder, like, if they have the opportunity to just like chill at home and do triathlons instead of doing that. Like, it's just such a rough life to be 75 years old or whatever in your 70s and you still have to work. It's not like I want to work. It's I have to work. That's tough, and I want to try to avoid that if I can. Okay,
so what are you doing in place two right now to avoid that?
One, I'm looking at places where I should retire. where you
What's
retire
wrong with here?
Taxes. Taxes are nuts.
Oh, what, you think Texas is better?
Texas would be warmer.
For property, yeah, just environment, but we talk about property taxes.
I love this. I looked at the five best places to retire.
Florida.
For me, there's really only two places I could possibly go. And I'll tell you the top five.
Alabama
places. Yes.
See, I knew it.
It's Alabama.
I knew it.
Hold on. It's Alabama.
And Texas.
No,
for the political
Texas
state.
Make the list. For my people, like.
Yeah, that's how you feel comfortable.
For me, I would love Texas, dude.
Texas because of politics and Alabama for different reasons.
The thing is, I don't know. Retirement in Alabama would be great because I don't think I would live there very long. My money would go a long way, you know what I'm saying?
Explain to me why Alabama and what was the other? The one that was realistic?
I'll give you the top five. So number 5 is Arizona.
Okay.
Number 4 was Mississippi. 3 is Georgia. 2 is Alabama. And number 1 is Florida. And that one is controversial. But the reason why Arizona is great for military people retiring.
You're not military.
I'm not military, so I'm not gonna be retiring.
Okay, so cross it off the list.
But that's like the one other place that I might go to, because Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. I don't know how well that fit in.
Welcomed. You're not as welcome.
I'd be like, I'm one of y'all. I'll be like, no, you ain't.
What'd you say?
Florida, you got room over there?
What was the last one? So it was, Florida, and then the one that you...
I thought Arizona might be a place where I could like potentially live.
And you're saying those places... Take the environment out the way. Why would those be realistic?
So the reason why those one is
retire.
temperature is like it's a warmer climate. You're a little bit more comfortable. You can find it in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But more importantly, so Arizona has a bunch of benefits for people in the military. You don't get.
You're
taxed.
not in the military, George. I'm talking about you.
I'm trying to educate our military members.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
For our men and women who serve, I'm sorry that he's ignorant. All right, we're trying to get him to be an expert in retirement. So Arizona is great for people who are in the military.
All right.
The other three are great for just anyone to retire in because one, they have low property taxes.
Okay.
Like overall cost of living is less. Your dollar goes a long way. But two, your Social Security income and a lot of your income from like retirement accounts doesn't count as income. You don't get taxed on it.
Okay.
So that $1,900 a month, $1,900 a month in Illinois, you would still get taxed on it, even though it's your Social Security.
Okay.
Versus if you go to all these other places, you don't do that. And Florida has apparently the best laws in order to like not get taxed on your retirement, your income, your 401ks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something, and it's I can't say this is any factual because all my information I get is off Reddit. So
Which is honestly
take this with a
good.
grain of salt. But people say like, all right, they want to move out of Illinois because of this taxes are like horrible or whatever.
Yeah.
But just because property taxes are low somewhere else, they're gonna get you in another way. Like taxes in another category, it's just high. So people say like Illinois, man, property taxes, blah blah blah, and then you're like, go to Texas, man, property taxes are low, or Florida.
Cost of living.
They'll tax you in a different way. They get their money. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. That I don't think you're right on this, and the reason why I don't think you're right on this because you go to places like Ohio, or I was one of the biggest mind blown I ever had when I was like 16 or 17. Saying like a lot.
That's okay.
Haven't been saying it a lot. Though.
It's funny because I'm saying it subtly. That's just the first time you've caught me saying it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I hate this podcast. Anyway.
Dang it.
First time I went to Ohio, I go to a grocery, or I went to McDonald's, and I bought something off the dollar menu when the dollar menu existed. And
It still exists.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
The dollar menu?
The dollar menu at McDonald's does not exist.
Wait, that's a huge
That
thing.
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist
It
anymore?
literally broke my soul. That's how I lived.
Oh, you're right. You know what? A McChicken's not.
Now the best they have is 2 for $3 McChickens.
Oh yeah, you're right. $1.50.
And that's how you know I'm not set for retirement, because I still know the McDonald's menu like the back of my hand.
Okay, well, anyways.
What I was trying to say is that you don't get income tax, or you don't get taxed on purchases there. Property taxes are lower. I want to know where these other taxes are coming from that they're charging.
I'm ignorant, so I don't really know. Again, this is information based on Reddit, but people should pick places.
Come
they said
baby.
based off what you.
No, your facts.
Your facts is you going through a McDonald's drive-through in Ohio.
Anecdotal.
Don't tell me you're coming with facts. You're talking about the dollar menu.
Anecdotal evidence means I'm right, Justin. Also, I use the word anecdotal.
Anyways, what else do you've learned about?
So I might be retiring in Florida, is all I'm saying. I'll rent out Bishoy's house since he's no longer going to be living there. Bishoy is my cousin, for those of you who don't know.
Nice.
And then I'll just live in his house rent free. Thanks, by the way. And there you go. I'm saving money and I'm retired, and then I get Social Security.
So what I've gathered from your segment, and what I've gathered that you learned about retirement, is essentially you want to retire in Florida. You haven't done anything else.
I know we do this every podcast, but I'm going to be retiring in Florida. The best state.
No, but I'm actually... I was going to use the word... I'm not annoyed, but it's crazy that you've talked for so long and you've only said you're going to retire in Florida.
We're moving to Florida.
What about things that you're going to be doing now?
So there are 3 things.
That's what I'm looking for.
There are 3 things that you need to do that if you haven't done already, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, heck, if you're even in your 20s, you just want to get a head start.
Ooh, okay.
There are things that are just bare minimum that you need to do to set yourself up and at least be comfortable for the future. I'm doing one of them.
Okay. No, we're 1 out of 3. That's
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Because when you say them, these 3 out loud right now.
Technically, I'm doing 2. But.
Okay, I'm gonna be very sad if I'm like, I'm not doing any of these.
No, I know you're doing. I think you might actually be doing all 3. We'll see.
All right, let me see.
Bare minimum is, and this blows my mind. If you have a job that offers 401k match, sign up for 401k. It blows my mind that people don't do this. They're like, I don't know where my money is going. I don't know what's being invested into. I'm not going to do it. I want to know. I want to be educated on the money that I'm putting in. No. Doesn't matter what they're putting it into because they're matching you. That is literally free money that you're getting.
Okay, you're doing that.
I'm doing that.
Okay, good.
I also get a pension because I work for the government.
Ooh, you can't say that out loud.
I work for the government. It's fine. I can say I'm a government employee.
What's the shirt you're wearing?
Oh, it's a shirt about aliens. I believe in aliens. Why do you have to draw attention to that? People weren't looking. People literally were not looking.
He knows.
The fact that I believe in aliens and that I work for the government have no correlation.
They're exclusive.
There's no reason why I'm moving to Florida. But that is the first thing.
Okay.
And I know it seems like not a big deal to you, but I can't tell you the number.
What, matching?
No, like just using your 401k.
Yeah.
That's a thing that me and you are doing, but you can't imagine the number of people that I've talked to who haven't even started putting money into their 401k. At the very least, it doesn't matter what the market does. Let's say it goes up 5%, goes down 5%, whatever. If you're putting in $150 a month because of your 401k, that means your employer is giving you $150 extra a month. For no other reason from retirement, you're doubling your money.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
I know I'm going on a rant here, but it literally blows my mind.
Mama George, go ahead.
It blows my mind that people don't do this. Okay. Number 2, people will argue with me on this. People are against the whole debt mentality, but don't ever use a debit card.
Don't ever use a debit card?
No, use a credit card. As long as you have the mental fortitude to not be stupid and put too much on your credit card that you can't pay it off at the end of the month, right? That's stupid. Don't use your credit card. Continue using your debit card. There's no reason to get yourself into hot water, right? But if you're not stupid, and for those of you who are stupid, stop being stupid.
There's a lot of stupids there.
I'm a stupid guy.
Oh.
But
giving this advice,
there are credit cards that you can get huge benefits off of. So if you're doing things like just paying for your utilities, paying for food, paying for...
Certain places don't use utilities, but certain companies...
What, don't use credit cards?
Or I'm thinking of rent. Oh, actually, speaking of, my cousin tells me there's a company that you can use that you don't have to pay rent with the debit card or like a Zelle or anything. You can use credit. I could have been doing that when I was renting.
So it's a very specific kind of credit card. It's a company called Blink. I'm not really sure how they're able to do that.
Isn't that crazy?
Blows my mind. And if they allow it for me to pay my mortgage somehow, I don't think they'll allow it.
But which is crazy because certain rents for apartments are as much as a mortgage. So
right. It's more than a mortgage.
What are we talking about?
More than a mortgage usually.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I would love to. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research on that. But if I can but find the right credit card for you that can get you cash in your pocket. Because so many credit cards, like, you get 5%, 3% back or whatever. Hey, whatever. It's a couple $100 that you can put in your pocket that otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah.
The last thing, this is one that I need to do.
Okay.
Is open up a high yield savings account.
Yeah.
Are you doing that or no?
No, I have a Roth IRA separate from my 401k, but I don't have a high yield savings. I was gonna do that after I got married.
That's probably a good idea.
Because all my money is just going to.
What money, bro? You're negative money right now. I'm sorry. It's okay.
Well, we're not supposed to talk about it.
It's okay. Weddings are expensive, guys.
Anyways.
Sorry. That's a good depressing turn.
Yeah, but way to turn this podcast dark.
Here's a stat for you.
Okay.
A lot of people open up regular savings accounts at like your Chase, your Bank of America's or whatever.
That doesn't accrue.
I've
done that for so long.
Let's say, same. And you know how much money I've gotten so far this year from Chase?
Did you have a Chase high yield savings account?
No, just a regular savings account.
Oh, how much?
7 cents.
Oh, what you gonna spend on that?
I don't know. I think that money is literally losing me money because it's just sitting there and then inflation.
Yeah,
I think inflation's making
you're
it.
negative right now.
No, but I thought this was a really interesting stat. If let's say you have $10,000 just sitting in one of those savings accounts, over the year that it sits there, you have gained $1. The dollar you didn't have before. Congratulations. Yep. But if you have that same $10,000 in a high yield savings account, that $10,000 gets you $400 or $500 in the year.
Yeah. Oh, what? 4 to 500? It depends on the.
It depends on the interest rates. It depends on what kind of rate they're giving you. But most high yield savings accounts are like 4 to 5%.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So anyway, those are the steps that I'm going to do towards my retirement.
But you also need money to put into a high yield savings account.
So that's when you borrow money.
I think that's where we have a problem, Joe.
No. That's when you go to the bank and you leverage your property to get more income.
Oh, don't call her that.
What?
Anyways, my my segment.
And for the best transition in podcast history.
Here we go. I picked up the book, The Art of War. Now, before I get into this book, George, we're going to go into battle. And I need you to think of right now what enemy that you're trying to take down. It could be something tangible. It could be not tangible. What do you have that thing in your head that you want to fight?
Yes.
Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Say it out loud.
Poverty.
Okay, you're going to take down poverty, right? You're going to fight poverty.
That's the goal.
So when I talk about this book, have poverty as your enemy. I'm going to talk about being ignorant is my enemy because I've been watching a lot of our podcasts and editing, and we are very ignorant.
Our enemies are winning.
Our enemies. They're strong enemies. Okay?
They're strong enemies.
All right, so here's the first chapter of The Art of War. The first chapter is called Laying Plans. And it starts off with the sentence, like, planning is the road that either leads to safety or ruin.
Planning is the road that leads to safety or
ruins.
Okay.
And I'm gonna also warn you for this segment. I'm gonna hit you with a lot of Art of War quotes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be, I think, hard to digest. And I had a hard time digesting it, so I'm gonna say it to you and I'm gonna ask you what you think of it. Got it?
Go on.
Okay, so yeah, planning is very important. They say that there's 5 essential things to planning. It's moral law,
okay,
heaven, earth, the commander, and discipline. And I'm gonna break those down. It's written.
I'm listening.
A long time ago. Okay.
You know when it was written?
I don't actually. Do you?
Yeah.
When?
It was written by
your grandparent wrote it in front of you?
It was close to that.
Okay.
It was before Christ was born, during the
You had me, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so the 5 essentials to planning. First is moral law. So if you have your army, moral law is a law that everyone understands. Everyone's on the same page.
Oof,
so
tough one.
My battle of ignorancy. Your battle of poverty. I was thinking of what a moral law we can establish. So since I am your leader and you're my troop, you all right? You okay there?
Continue.
You all right?
Let me just.
I feel like I lost you there.
I'm here to follow you into battle. My king, my savior, everything, my everything, Justin. I love you.
I feel like I lost you there. Okay.
No, I'm listening.
Here's a moral law that I think after watching all these videos is we should think before we say something.
Oof.
Not bad.
Tough one.
This is not bad. Not bad law, right? So if we were in a war against being ignorant, that would be a law I would want to establish. So if your war is against poverty, what would your moral law be to be established? This has to happen. Me and my army, say maybe you and your family, you and your friends against the battle of poverty.
It's to better understand. I do mean this for I'll be serious for a little moment. It's to understand what it is that you value. because wealth can come at you from multiple different perspectives. In my opinion, you can be a humble janitor who lives a comfortable life, not in debt, and be wealthy.
Interesting.
So understanding for yourself what makes you wealthy. You don't think?
So
Deep.
I'm not gonna lie.
So deep.
George, your battle against poverty, not battle against depression.
We already lost that battle a while ago. We lost that battle, bro. We've moved on.
I know, right? That was a troll, but I think that's a great piece of advice. Well, someone, if you're trying to battle poverty, happiness, you can be happy but still poor.
Not happiness, but understanding what it means to be wealthy to you. Because wealth doesn't necessarily mean that you're the richest guy in the world. You can be wealthy.
What does the term poverty mean to you?
The term poverty means you aren't able to sustain yourself or your life.
Okay, so it's a more of a financial material thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if your battle against poverty has nothing to do with your perception of happiness.
Again, all right, I apologize if I said happiness. Let's rewind a little bit if I said happiness. But understanding what the bare minimums are for you to be able to survive and be comfortable.
Living within your means.
Sure, but I don't want to say living within your means, because for a lot of people that means being able to have a house, blah blah blah. Like monks, to me, they're wealthy. They have everything that they need to be able to survive. They don't really have homes. They live in a monastery and are fine.
Here's one of those times where you're gonna say that we're arguing the same thing when we're not arguing the same thing.
We're not arguing the same thing. I'm right. Leave a comment down below. Like, shut his ass.
Yeah, I don't know where I want to move on because I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't understand anything that you're saying. Okay, so comment down below if George is just talking out of his
moral high ground, baby.
Anyway, so moral law.
Okay.
Right? Then he says heaven. Heaven is supposed to describe the circumstances of the battle. So you have to, when you're planning, you have to know if it's cold or hot, or it's the day or it's during the night. So for ignorant, I had to understand whether if you had your coffee yet, or if I exercise, if I'm not eating like horrible, or I'm in like a horrible mood, or if like we need to understand if it's so hot in this room, I might get a little bit frustrated.
Might take it out on me and call
I might take it out on you.
Might call my idea stupid, even though I'm right. Continue.
Exactly. See, we're learning. Okay, we're learning.
Yep.
So let's have it. Earth is to be aware of what can cause you to lead to victory or defeat. So when you're planning, understand this choice probably lead me to failure.
Yeah.
So when we're talking on this podcast and we talk about dinosaurs. We'll sit here. Don't worry. That was supposed to be a reference to like our significant others because we bleep them out.
This was also.
Anyways,
that was also my significant other.
I should stop my segment here, man. It should be ended right here. Anyways, you should understand that if we talk about our significant others, it might lead to victory or defeat.
It's defeat. It's defeat.
Let's just be aware of it. All right, the commander is supposed to represent wisdom. So you have to understand if we're saying something stupid or not, which a lot of times on this podcast, we're not really aware of.
I disagree. I think a lot of times, especially on this podcast, we have a tendency to be like, here's our understanding of it. It's not complete, but here's what we know.
No.
You don't think so?
Yeah, you say stuff like it's factual.
Stuff I say is right.
Anyway, the last one is discipline. So when you plan, you need to be disciplined to do something, like this podcast or the fight against poverty or ignorance, to do habits every week so we can defeat our enemy. Yeah? We're never going to get through this.
I heard you disciplined. I got you. I got you.
Anyways.
I'm just not disciplined right now.
And then the chapter 1, I thought it was interesting that he talks about the way to really win a war while you're planning is the art of deception.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you got my attention right now.
Oh, finally. All right, let's get on track. He said to defeat your enemy, you have to deceive them.
How do I deceive poverty?
Here's how it is. Well, we're talking about something tangible. He's talking about actual people, right?
Enemy. I was gonna say this book is literally written. Like a lot of people have used it for
business, like tangible things, not so much I need to defeat this person.
Yeah.
So that's why I said pick something that either tangible or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to deceive them. So if you are strong, you need to appear weak. If you're weak, you need to appear strong. If you're prepared, you need to appear unprepared. To fool your enemy into thinking, oh, I have the leg up on that person.
No wonder I'm so rich. No wonder.
See? There we go.
No wonder we have a world-class podcast setup with the best lighting, the best cameras, and the best microphones.
Ooh, too much. A little bit too far. A little bit too far. Yeah.
Oh, you just can't lie.
You have to deceive them into thinking that you actually believe that stuff.
Ah, got it.
You're just lying out your ass. So that was chapter 1. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Understanding to be prepared. All right, chapter 2 is waging war. An interesting takeaway is, you see, chapter 2, I'm gonna hit you with a quote, and I want you to tell me what you think it means.
Oh no, but okay, I'm gonna need a minute to digest. You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
I got IBS, so it takes a minute.
Longer than a minute. He says, if victory is a long outcome, then swords will become dull, armor will become damp, and that is not a preferable outcome.
That is not a. It makes it sound almost. This is just like a very instinctual, like
yeah.
that you don't want victory, because he says that swords will become weak, armor will become, or swords will become dull, armor will become damp.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, those are things that you don't want.
Correct. Oh, perfect, George. You got that part down. So he says, if victory is...
Glad I finished my thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Guys, so sassy, bro. Do you have it?
My coffee made me.
No, so that's actually perfect. So you don't want a long victory because yes, your resources will dry up, your swords will become dull, armor will become damp, and now you will be vulnerable to someone attacking you.
This is gonna be tough because we're not. Me and you aren't philosophical people, but we are somehow. But genuinely, for people who are going through like their everyday battles, their everyday lives, right? The idea that you're putting out there is that you're constantly at war.
So here's what I'm taking away from it.
Okay.
Not to say this is the right way, but so you want to see battle or war over poverty. So yes, that's going to be an overarching long-term for your life battle.
Yes.
But when you look at attacking, maybe you should have a long victory over the small things, retirement funds. You should be attacking that immediately.
I'm trying, bro. I just did a whole podcast on it.
I'm just saying, like, you should be putting money into your high yield savings account now. Why are you waiting? Do stuff now. Attack quick.
I don't have money to put. No, but I get what you're saying.
Don't let it. You know,
don't let it linger. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the longer it takes, the worse it's gonna get.
Okay.
And now you're just gonna be vulnerable to other problems of life.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I like that. I know I have an overarching war with ignorance, but if I read every day and I look at you and say, this is not what I'm supposed to do, then every day if I attack that quickly, write it down, this is what George did, don't do that, I can be less ignorant. Is
your example of being less ignorant just to not be like me?
Ooh, he's catching. Okay, chapter 3. Chapter 3.
We're just going to move on from that. Okay, got it. Got it.
Is attack by stratagem.
How have we been going on for this long of a podcast? Like, we've been doing this for a year.
Are you okay, man?
I feel a little attacked.
No.
We're the art of war. I think it's not ignorant. I think you're attacking me.
We're attacking ignorance, George.
Which is me, apparently.
That's your personal perception. I didn't say anything about you. Okay? Chapter 3 is attack by stratagem.
Stratagem?
Stratagem.
What's stratagem?
Strategy.
Okay.
But an old way
Well,
of saying
we don't say strategy. Continue.
No,
Okay.
we say attack by stratagem. Okay, you gotta really put yourself in war because I feel like you're not taking this serious.
Stratagem.
But anyways, attack by stratagem, right? Here's where he gets badass.
Okay.
He says, when you attack the enemy, do not shatter the enemy. Don't shatter the enemy in pieces.
Oh, I remember this part of the book.
You take the enemy while they're whole and intact.
You try to.
You try to. That's best case scenario, he says. And it's like, you don't attack your own resources. Those are future resources that you have.
Yep.
So I was thinking of businesses. Like, oh, that's why when someone takes over a business, it's like, yeah, keep your name, keep your logo, keep all this. You're just mine.
Yeah.
You're just mine now. I was like, oh, that's cold, man.
Can I give you the best example of that in business?
Okay.
Arby's.
Yeah.
Arby's, everyone
Buffalo
thinks.
Wild Wings.
I didn't realize this. They own so much.
What else do they own? I know they own Buffalo
Wild Wings. They own Burger King.
Oh, do they?
They own Burger King. They own part of Culver's.
Oh my.
There's literally a giant, like the parent company of Arby's owns so much.
But why is Arby's so bad?
Right? Because they're using
that's the
other
original
enemies'
company.
resources.
Oh, that's what it is. And they're deceiving me
into thinking that
they're a bad company.
The art of war is practiced at Arby's.
They know this book.
This is a clip. This is actually mind-blowing. This should be a clip. This is mind-blowing.
Crazy. But anyways, so yeah, take the enemy whole and intact and then just flip them and use them as your own resource. He says you have to break resistance without fighting.
You have
Best
to
case
break
scenario.
resistance with.
I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
You are waging a war against poverty or whatever issue that you're facing.
Okay.
How are you gonna break resistance without fighting?
I don't understand that question. When it comes to the intangible, I can understand it with
like someone like
something that's like a physical,
them?
physical thing that you can. But if it's an intangible thing, I feel like the way would be the opposite. So like the way to combat poverty would be to maintain wealth. But that in itself is the opposite. It's not encompassing it. It's not allowing it. It's just,
I guess, maybe not being so aggressive.
What do you mean?
Stop robbing people.
Oh.
Yeah. Like do a little something that's not as aggressive.
Okay, so don't be as aggressive.
Yeah,
don't go to the bank with a note that says, "Give me all the money."
yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Not bad, right? But it's funny because he says break resistance without fighting.
Wait, I apologize. I know I'm interrupting, but I think I thought of an idea for poverty on how to don't take from others. Just in general, like don't be the one to take from others. Figure out a way to be the one to give. I think that's a way to...
I like that. But also, since I just piggybacked, my war against ignorance or any issue, to be honest, I think there is a break resistance without fighting is not trying to force something that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't force you to be smart, so that I'm surrounded by smarter people. I have to let you be you, and then I have to adjust and adapt. That will make me smarter.
We were having a demo, and I knew a roast was coming.
What do you
I
mean?
knew a
put it into
roast.
practice, George.
I knew the second that we were having like we're understanding, like there's a level of understanding that we're achieving.
Yeah.
I knew I was about to get roasted.
George, I'm trying to put it into practice so then we can become better.
I just want you to know Bronchosaurus is coming for you.
That's all right. I've seen Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Anyways, so I thought this was interesting. He goes, break this without fighting, but if you do have to fight, here are some rules. By stats, by numbers, if you have an army, you're about to face another army. If you are 10-1, you don't even have to fight. You just surround the enemy. Then,
yeah.
Then they shoot their pants, and then that's it. We take.
Yeah, that seems straightforward.
straightforward, right? 10-1. Then he says, if you're 5-1, come up.
Damn.
Let loose.
Damn.
10-1, you just surround him, don't attack. But 5-1, you let him know who's boss.
I really do like that idea. I know it's like the idea of mercy, right? Like, you know that you can annihilate this person
As 10-1.
Yeah. So you're just like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
but
come on.
5-1.
5-1 is like,
We not even
I ain't risking my
Yeah,
people.
dude,
I ain't risking my people.
I think that's what he was
We
saying.
getting to the point here. Like,
5-1, he's like, yeah, we ain't playing around.
yeah.
Now 1-2, you're the double your size.
Can go either way.
No, he says, and I think this is where the popular phrase is, you divide and conquer.
Okay.
So you don't take the whole army, double the size. You divide them, and then you take them individually, and it'd be much easier.
Yeah.
So I like that, right? Then other rules of war, he says you need to understand when you're going to fight or understand when you're going to flee. It's not bad. I think if I look about my own internal battle, I don't understand when to flee against ignorance. I think I'm always fighting. I'm just gung ho.
You hear me and you stick around. You still around. It's been a year or so doing the podcast.
Oh man.
Dude, you beat me down so much. You beat me down so much. I'm now self-roasting.
No, man.
I'm in the self-roasting
Come
area.
on, we said we weren't going to do that anymore.
I thought it wasn't. I thought I'd overcome it.
No, see, I flee away from the thought that you are actually more intellectual than I am. I'm afraid of that. That's my own personal thing.
You're afraid of the thought that I am more intellectual than you are?
Which you are. That's why I make jokes.
I literally sense the bullshit from your mouth, and I appreciate it. I don't care. I'll take it. I'll take the win, bro. That's fine. I'm smart. He called it. You heard it here first.
Man. Anyways, back to the book. Yeah, did I win a Grammy Award for that? So there's three signs to failure. Okay, again, I'm your leader. You're my troop. So this thing
is that one of the signs up there, the duck crossing?
That's not that funny.
Okay.
The first sign, is if you command your army and they're not listening to you. You have lost your army. You're gonna fail.
Can I just make a point out that you called me your army at one point?
Yeah. And
I don't pay attention to you.
That's why we're failing.
Got it.
Look at the podcast.
Got it.
Don't you see where we are in life?
We're doing pretty good. We're not bad, man. We got subscribers. I didn't think we'd get one. Thank you to all our subscribers out there.
We're doing good. All right. So the second one is if I'm the leader, I'm ignorant to my soldiers' environment or even their minds. So if I don't really care and they're just like robots to me, if I don't care about your mental state, I'm going to lose. That's why constantly I'm always aware of your mental state.
Are you?
So,
are you?
I make jokes.
Tell me more about how you know my mental state. Go ahead.
I always push for you to thrive, George.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
No, I'm.
Why are you shocked?
I'm amazed by the amazingness of your leadership, okay. Right? And how right you are. Yeah, like this is so much greatness.
See, as long as you're aware that I'm here for you, that's why managers say stuff like that. So I'm here for you.
I have never edited a video. This is all Justin. He does all the editing. He does everything.
Dude.
I'm going to learn how to edit. I'm going to make a montage of every
Why are you lying?
This man has done.
Why are you lying?
Because it will be 3 hours long podcast.
Yeah, but you're not going to learn to edit. Why are you lying to the audience?
Keep going.
And here's the third sign that you're going to fail. This is the one where I had to read 30 times. And I'm going to say this to you. And I just need you to digest it. And then whatever the first thing you think it means, just tell me.
I'm going to just react.
Okay.
I have IBS, so digesting is good with me.
All right, ready? This is the third sign that you're going to fail.
Go.
If a leader employs his officers of his army without discrimination through military principles of adaptation.
You need to have inclusion in your army. You need to have everyone represented. Doesn't matter, gay, straight, black, white. Have everybody in your army.
Yeah, let's go. No, that's not what it means.
Diversity and inclusion, baby. DEI.
I read it 30 I didn't know what it means.
Yeah.
So I had to Google it.
Can you say it again?
It says if a leader employs his officers of his army without discrimination through military principles of adaptation.
That's it.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what Sun Tzu was on, bro. Like you read this book and people are reading it and they're like, what?
Was it a haiku? Was it poetry? Like, what's this man?
I think so. I think he had to use big words to like really sound like he knew what he was talking about.
Maybe he was implementing the deceptive part, making it sound like he knew what he was talking about.
Dude, this guy is on another level.
That's his inception within inception.
But apparently that quote means, when I Googled it, that
fighting ignorance, baby, let's go.
If an officer of high rank is telling what an officer of low rank what to do and is commanding, that's gonna cause problems.
Okay.
So there's rankings, but the army should be unified as all. There isn't like, oh, this guy's so much better than me. You need to have your army understand that everyone's on the same level and we're all trying to fight the same fight.
This is gonna sound so cheesy. It's so cheesy. That's literally how I imagine Christianity, where you have leaders who are like supposed to be spiritual, like leaders, guiders, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we're all on the same level. We're all the same in the eye of God.
Yeah. Why is that cheesy?
Just like,
why?
All cheesy. It was just like everyone watching, right?
I want to apologize. I want to apologize right now. You know what just hit me?
What?
I've jokingly, I want everyone to know this is a big joke.
Just show my confidence.
Yeah, I roasted you so much. You have to preface really nice things that you're about to say with, I know it's cheesy and I know this sucks. I'm sorry.
While I have no self-worth, I think this might have some value that I can contribute.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I need to work on that. I'm gonna put it in my mind. I need to work on that.
You're
Understand
good.
That don't destroy George's confidence. He is my soldier. He is my troop, and they lead him to victory against ignorance.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
All right. So there's 3 signs of failure and 5 signs for victory, and they're kind of reiterating things he said before. I think the 5 essentials of victory is planning. Knowing what to do if you are underdog or you're a top dog, so 10-1, 5-1. Unity, so everyone needs to be on the same page. Again, not everyone, or not having the top officer think that he's better than the low officer. Preparation, that's chapter 1. And the last one I didn't really agree with is that the army needs to not be ruled by a supreme leader, as in a government. They use the word sovereign, and I had to Google that, which meant like a political supreme leader, not so much the leader of the army.
So that one, I don't. I mean, it's kind of like a. I don't disagree with that.
One like government leader that's everyone. I don't know if we're gonna cancel it or anything, but say an Asian continent, supreme leader, like that wouldn't be a good idea.
But here's how I view it. Right, is democracy. So democracy being
that's checks and balances, no?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like you have, I mean, the president essentially is the leader of our military.
No, gets checked and balanced.
But that's what I'm saying. While, we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can't say much on this topic. All right, when it comes to government, there's little I can say. But what I'm saying is, from like a big conceptual standpoint,
yeah,
we do have a leader, somebody who is the one. Like at the end of the day, the president is the commander in chief of our military.
Okay.
He gets to decide what our military strategies are, how we do it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But we are the ones who elect that leader. We are the ones who decide, okay, we're going to back up this person for 4 years. But at the end of the day, he is the leader. He's the one who decides. And I feel like that's, in a sense, right, while you still have a leader who is a supreme, but he's still infused with the power of the people. That's how I view it. I think that's why I don't disagree with what he's saying.
His idea of everyone is as important as anyone else, and so you cannot be ruled by a political or any leader. The fact that everyone thinks they're on the same page and I'm fighting same fight as this person will have a more sense of, oh, there's a reason why I'm in war.
Okay.
And so if everyone is just like, I'm doing whatever the Supreme Leader is doing, it's going to cause discourse.
I think that goes to the idea of like I forgot the political propaganda, and like you're fighting for a higher cause essentially. Like
pretty much
most wars are built on the idea you're not fighting for one particular person.
Yeah,
you're fighting for a bigger cause. If you're signing up to join the military and essentially give up your life, you're fighting for country. You're fighting for these conceptual ideas that are much bigger than an individual person, which I agree with him on.
I think because the first chapter was like you win the war by deception. As a leader, you just have to deceive your own army, not just your enemy, that you're doing this for a higher cause.
Buddy, I think you gotta deceive yourself. Like,
so I have to deceive you into you knew it was coming. I get ready. Anyways, chapter
2 minutes. Took 2 minutes for this man to roast. 2 minutes.
Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Can
we change the name of the podcast?
So what?
To the Get Shit On podcast.
George gets shit on.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Okay. Chapter 4. It's all about priming. We love priming over here at the Idiot Expert podcast.
You know, our audience is like, this Justin guy has primed him to just take this abuse.
This is gonna be so sad. Everyone, it's a joke, okay? It's a big.
This
joke.
is our bit.
It's a big bit that we keep doing every week.
Yep, this is just our bit of friendship.
Like, you're trying to figure out the line of where the bit is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit. Help.
Anyways, last chapter, and then this is the first half of the book. But yeah, he says a victorious fighter doesn't even think there's a possibility of him losing. That's not even in his realm of life. I'm going to win.
I like that.
And so he continuously thinks like that. Then this is a sentence I didn't really agree with. That standing defensively means you have a shortage of strength.
Okay.
And then if you stand offensively, you have an abundance of strength. I was like, so am I supposed to be more offensive, more better?
Because I'm very much in the realm of, and I think we've talked about this phrase before in on the podcast, where it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war.
That's so familiar,
right?
Yeah.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
And the idea being for me is like you want to be the person who exemplifies great strength. Like you want to be strong. You want to be able to.
Masculinity.
I disagree.
Anyways,
but like you don't want to exhibit that power. You don't want to flex that power. I know. Yeah. That's why I ignored you. My way to combat ignorance.
Is
by blindness.
Isn't that more ignorance? Anyways, here's another. I'm gonna throw a quote at you where I had to read 30 times. Ready? To seek victory within the ken of common herd is not the acme of excellence.
I get that.
Okay.
To strive for the same things that other people are striving for is not. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that's just what should be accomplished.
You are smarter than me. It's along the same line.
Is it?
A little bit different.
Okay. How did they describe it on Google?
How'd you know? It said if the road to victory is a golden road, if it's paved for you, if it's the obvious one to take. Yeah, you could take it and you could be victory, but we're not calling that excellent. That was the easy thing to do.
That was like it was like the obvious thing to do.
It was the obvious thing to do. When you do the things that are hard to do and are not easy to understand, we hold those people up to that's excellent because everyone else is telling you maybe you should do it this way and obviously you should go there and go there. And
there she goes.
But that's why I was gonna go a little bit deep of us doing a podcast of I think a lot of people of I'm gonna say our color, but
oh, I like that.
Why? People of our color?
Yeah, we just call ourselves the Brown People Podcast.
No, we were not going to do that.
We'll get more viewers, I promise you.
I don't want more viewers. Anyways, people who tend to not kind of go for a podcast or something, a hobby of theirs, because they feel like it's going to be embarrassing, or people already told us that it's boring and they're never going to watch. And when there's a lot of people telling you don't do this, but you do it anyway, you go against the grain. I feel like I hold those people up to I respect that, and that's an excellent thing to do.
I love that you said that, because this entire time I've been kind of just like,
why are we doing this?
Yeah. I just sit here and get roasted for like 2 hours. So
you know what? I'm sorry. This podcast next week, I will not even roast you one bit, George. It's just gonna be a nice informational and wholesome podcast.
That will not happen.
Okay, well, we want to bet money on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how much?
This is gonna go towards my retirement fund.
Okay, how much? $10.
New microphones.
I'm not betting new microphones.
Yeah, me either.
All right. Well, anyways, so I have two other quotes that I had to Google.
Okay.
And this one, I understood the sentence. I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
Okay. Let me educate you. Go ahead.
Okay. A victorious strategist seeks victory after battle. Seeks battle after victory. And the loser, who is destined for defeat, seeks battle first and then victory.
That's your mindset. Your mindset before, like, the person who is victorious has already won. He's just figuring out how to do it. The person who is lost is trying to figure out the battle.
You know, the confidence that when you say things,
right? It sounded good.
Makes it sound like
it sounded
good. And honestly, if I never Googled it, I'm like, that's probably what it is. I'm not even kidding. That sounded really.
It sounded good.
And honestly, it could be a right interpretation of it. Whatever I found on Google doesn't mean it's the right one.
Right.
But apparently, it just means that the person who seeks battle after victory has already thought out the entire
battle of how to win. Yeah.
That's why he saw victory first, because he already planned the whole thing. Versus the someone who only looks at battle first and doesn't even know if it's going to be victorious or not, is trying to fight first.
I will say, okay, and I'm being serious. One of the things that it's so often that we focus on the battle that we're in that we don't conceptualize what we're doing after, which causes us to stay in the battle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, it happens to me with so many, like, working out, with my job, how I wanted to, like, pick career path, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm so, like, tunnel visioned.
It's because it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
The issue, instead of thinking, all right, this whole big picture, let me step back and then figure out how can I get to this end goal.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem that is very common, what a lot of people do. Is that once they're in the problem, whatever your battle is, whatever. I was gonna say, I don't know why my brain went to, like, oh, bulimia. I guess that's your battle. I was like, oh, maybe don't use that as an example.
Yeah, we'll throw it up. I'll edit it.
Yeah, no, it is. But whether it's mental health, whatever your battle is, there's a bigger picture, and seeing past the current battle, I think, is a great way to be victorious.
Ooh, be victorious. I like it.
Which is also a great old show on, I think, Nickelodeon or Disney Channel.
Weird. You were 25 when that show came out. Anyways, here's my last quote that, again, I had to Google. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'll give you my interpretation.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm having a blast doing this.
A victorious army opposed to a routed one is a pound's weight against a single grain. A pound's weight on a scale against a single grain.
And have your army hit the weight room.
Let me do this one more time.
They gotta get swollen.
No, because I messed up the crowd. Here, one more time. A victorious army opposed to a routed one is a pound's weight placed on a scale against a single grain.
Yeah, bro. They gotta hit the weight room. You gotta get your ummy swole. So that when they step on the scale, they're like gains, baby.
Dude, all you heard was pound, and then you went to weight, and then you just couldn't.
I was like, a victorious army is a pound on a scale. A routed army is a single grain. I'm like, well, they've already won, so yeah, they weigh more. Like, badass. Like,
here's again, I don't know if this is right, but this is what Google told me. Apparently, a routed army. He was kind of clowning them. A routed army is an army who is fleeing. They're always fleeing. Their mindset's already in a loss because they're like, I want to run away. A victorious army and who's like always winning is already in the mindset. Why would I run away? We're going to win.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I know.
That was dumb.
I know.
That's legit. Well, yeah, they're winning, so they keep fighting. Like, if you're getting kicked and people are dying, I'm gonna run away, dog. Like,
but I guess that's the mindset of like, even if it may seem like they're losing, they're still fighting as if, oh, we already know we're gonna win.
I also feel like, again, because I forget his name, Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu, yeah, you're right.
Writes in a very, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's Sun Tzu.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, you're taking any confidence out of my.
Just believe in yourself, man.
Believe it. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I combined two different ones. But you have this mindset. I can't, like, it's honorable to die in battle, essentially, type of thing. Where
that's not what they're saying here.
I understand, but because you're going into battle with the mindset of winning, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win.
No, but if you feel like it's not just you, like even if you die, my army's gonna win, then you would still think you won.
Here's my thing, and here's my question.
Okay.
How many armies got wiped out thinking they're gonna win? Like,
here's the thing. He's trying to deceive his army. No matter if they lost, who cares if they get wiped out? He needs to win.
I ain't going into battle with you. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
So
I'm running.
When I tell you to run into battle, into ignorance, you keep running, George.
Now, when I fall off that cliff,
you get back up and you keep running. And that's my first half of.
I'm excited to hear about what
Art
the next chapters of Art of War teach us.
It's only 8 chapters.
Yeah.
So I divided it in half, and I'm gonna
cover the next half.
Next week.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear what you have to share on the next half of the book.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I'm gonna be so nice to you next week. It's gonna be. You're not even gonna understand.
Be so uncomfortable.
You're not even gonna understand.
I'm literally
what's coming to you, George, next week.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna start roasting you because I feel so uncomfortable.
You know what we should do? I'll bring my clothes. You bring your clothes. I'll wear your clothes. You wear mine, and then we'll just cosplay switch. Each other's. Yeah, I'll be so nice to you.
Oh, I'm gonna do a podcast as Justin. Yeah. I'm excited. All right, cool. I'm excited to hear about the next half of the book.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about whatever it is that I'm gonna talk about, which may be poverty. Since you kind of got me into the.
I think it was good to talk about retirement and then you talk about poverty.
Yeah. So. I hope you guys learned something from the podcast. If not, I hope you laughed. Either way, we hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it does support the podcast. With us.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Peace.